Hey guys, so I have a book haul for you today. I got a book from Chapters or Indigo, and I also got a bunch of books from Book Outlet, and I got them mostly for like $1.70 each, with a few exceptions. And yeah, so I want to share them with you. Just a side note, if you hear a weird like whistling noise in the background, it's my Instant Pot. The steam's just escaping. It's just like right there. Yeah, I have it in my bedroom. Anyways, let's get on with the books. So for the first book I got from Chapters Indigo is A World Out of Time by Larry Niven. He wrote Ringworld, and also, was it the Interceptors or something like that? Anyways, my boyfriend wanted me to read that book, but it's actually book 2 of the series, and this is book 1. So this is the first one, so I picked it up. It's actually quite strange. It looks like a self-published book. And you know that vibe that you get? Like the font is a little bit different. It doesn't say who it's published by, it just says copyright by Larry Niven. But anyways, this is science fiction. Next one is a thriller. It's called Trust No One by Paul Cleave. And there's a big picture of him on the back, kind of Stephen King-esque. And this one says, most of the world knows Jerry Gray by his crime-writing pseudonym, Henry Cutter, a name that's been keeping readers at the edge of their seats for more than a decade. But now that he's been diagnosed with early-onset Alzheimer's at the age of 49, Jerry's career is coming to an abrupt end. His 12 books tell stories of brutal murders committed by bad men, of a world out of balance, of victims finding the darkest forms of justice. As his dementia continues to break down the wall between his real life and the lives of his characters, Jerry confesses his most terrible secret: the stories are real. He committed the crimes himself. His friends, family, and caretakers insist that it's all in his head, just a side effect of his devastating disease. But is it? So I think that sounds pretty good. And for like $1.80, why not, right? I'm trying to read more thrillers. Everyone's seen this book, The Bees by Laline Paul. This has been all over BookTube for a while, and I finally got my own copy of it. It's also kind of science fiction, and it is about a girl that is a bee, and my understanding is that it's more about how the society's set up, it's commentary on that sort of thing. I don't know too much about it, but I'm excited to give it a try, and I really like the cover. This next one just sounds like a thriller. It's called The Stranger on the Train by Abby Taylor. And this one is about a single mother. She's stuck on the platform of the London Underground, and the train carries her son out of the station. She goes to the police, but they are reluctant to help her. So, and then it says here, alone and panicked, Emma soon realizes that in order to get Richie back, she'll have to find him herself. However, the more Emma tells her story, the more others seem to doubt her, until she even begins to doubt herself. So I thought that sounded pretty interesting. You know, a single mother that doubts she even has a kid? Like, what? That just sounds confusing. So, yeah. Then I picked up Binti by Nnedi Okorafor. I thought this was a graphic novel, but this is actually a very short novella. Did I grab the right thing or not? I've heard lots of good things about it. It's really tiny. So, like, how many pages? 90 pages. And I also got the second one, Binti Home. This one's a little bit thicker, but still, it's a novella. I thought they were graphic novels. But here they are. I don't know why I got this one. It's called Fallout by S.A. Bodine. I think it's second in a series. But it sounds like it's about zombies or something like that. And I haven't read a dystopian for a while, so I figured, why not? For only like, $2. Let's give it a try. This next book I bought because it was in the Jewish section. It's called They Were Like Family to Me, Stories by Helen Merrills Shankman. And this says, 1942, with the Nazi Party at the height of its power, the occupying army empties Poland's towns and cities of their Jewish populations. As neighbor turns on neighbor and survival often demands unthinkable choices, Poland has become a moral quagmire, a place of shifting truths and blinding ambiguities. Blending folklore and fact, Helen Merrills Shankman shows us the people of Włodawa, a remote Polish town at a crossroads. We meet a cold-blooded SS officer dedicated to rescuing the creator of his son's favorite picture book, even as he helps exterminate the artist's friends and family. A messiah who appears in the little boy's bedroom to announce that he is quitting. A young Jewish girl who is hidden by the town's most outspoken anti-Semite and his talking dog. And walking among these tales are two unforgettable figures, the enigmatic and silver-tongued Willie Reinhardt, commandant of the forced labor camp who has grand schemes to protect his Jews, and Soroka, the Jewish saddle maker, struggling to survive with family. So that's what this is about. I need to read more Jewish literature. That's really important to me. So I thought that this was a no-brainer. Then I have some more thrillers that were just cover buys, or price buys, really. This one is Bathing the Lion by Jonathan Carroll, and this is what the cover looks like. And what's this one about? I don't even remember. One night, 5 residents of a small New England town all share exactly the same dream. One of them is even on a plane thousands of miles away en route to Europe when it happens. Some of these 5 know each other, some not. The dream is crystal clear and confusing at the same time. It is full of wonders, both impossibly beautiful and awful. What it portends for each of them is astounding. Until now, these people have led relatively normal lives. But eventually, from the dream, they learn that they came here from another place, somewhere unimaginably distant where they once worked to determine the fate of every single thing in the universe. And now, suddenly, they're being called back. So maybe this isn't a thriller. Why did I pick this up? I don't know, it sounds interesting. So we'll give it a try. It kind of reminds me of that Stephen King short story where everyone's in an airplane and they go through a wormhole or something. But anyways. Next is What Doesn't Kill Her by Carla Norton. And this one says, Brive Leclerc is a college student, damn it, not a victim. Not anymore. Not when she is finally recovering of a life after 4 years of captivity. Her former captor, Daryl Wayne Flint, is safely locked up where he belongs. He's walking the grounds of the forensic unit at Old Shaker Psychiatric Hospital, performing his strange but apparently harmless rituals. It seems that he's still suffering the effects of the head injury he suffered in the car crash that freed Reeves 7 years ago. Post-concussive syndrome, they call it. But while Flint seems a model patient, he has long been planning his next move. When the moment arrives, he gets clean away before the alarm even sounds, and Reeve is shocked out of her new life by her worst nightmare. Her kidnapper has escaped. Flint soon kills someone from their shared past, and Reeve's blocked memories jolt back into consciousness. Though she has worked hard to forget him, she knows this criminal better than anyone else, and when Flint evades capture, baffling authorities and leaving a bloody trail from the forensic unit to the forest of Washington State, Reeve suddenly realizes that she is the only one who can stop him. Reeve is an irresistibly brave and believable heroine in Carla Norton's heart-stopping new thriller about a young woman who must overcome her past and learn to fight back. So that sounds like pretty action-packed to me. And that's What Doesn't Kill Her. And then my last book is The Frozen Dead by Bernard Meinier. This is more of a thick one. Yeah, it's like 480-ish pages. Okay, now this one. Saint Martin de Comminges, sorry, my French is terrible, is a small town nestled in the French Pyrenees, the kind of place where winters are harsh and unforgiving and where nothing ever happens. Until the winter morning when a group of workers discover the headless, flayed body of a horse hanging suspended from the edge of a frozen cliff. On the same day the gruesome discovery takes place, Diane Berg, a young psychiatrist, starts her first job at a high-security asylum for the criminally insane just a few miles away. She is baffled by the slightly unorthodox methods the asylum's director uses, and then greatly alarmed when she realizes that drugs are disappearing from within the fortified institution while someone seems to be slipping out at night. Commandant Martin Servaz, a charismatic city cop from nearby Toulouse, fond of quoting Latin, can't believe he has been called out over the death of an animal, but there's something disturbing about this crime that he can't ignore. The DNA from one of the most notorious inmates of the asylum, a highly intelligent former prosecutor accused of raping and killing several women, is found on the horse's carcass. And a few days later, the first human murder takes place. A dark story of madness and revenge seems to be unfolding. Servaz and his colleagues, the mysterious Irene Ziegler, must use all their skill to solve the terrifying mystery and best one of the most fiendish and clever opponents they could ever imagine. So, hey, that sounds pretty good too. Definitely captures your attention with a dead horse. So that's The Frozen Dead. So that is my book haul. It's a little bit, well, quite a bit longer than usual. Thanks for sticking by if you've watched the whole video. And let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. So yeah, thank you. See ya, guys.